are looking at Alumni Gym in South Bend, where tonight the boys basketball regular season wraps up with the 80th renewal of the rivalry between the Mishawaka Cavemen and the St. Joe Indians on the 46th game of the week. And how you doing, everybody, with the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Mishawaka legend Craig Heatherly? At least that's what it says. It's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for what should be a fun night of basketball here on TV 46. Bo, the Mishawaka Cavemen under Bodie Bender having a great year, 16-6. But they've had some struggles since the last time we saw them with that 11-game win streak. They get a key part back tonight that could help them.
Yeah, we knew going into that stretch that they were going to have a difficult time. They were going to find themselves during that time. They went 2-4 in that stretch. But the thing was, they had Fisher out for most of that, and getting him back is a key part right before sectionals, getting him back, getting in the groove of things, and finding out who they are tonight.
St. Joe's another team that's been riding the struggle bus as of late. They've lost 7 of their last 10. But Eric Gaff's team can put the ball in the hole, and that can make them dangerous going into that Gym 10 sectional.
Yeah, I think this is most one of the underrated teams in the area. They have a losing record, just a little under 500. The thing is, I don't think anybody wants to play this team because when they get hot, they can throw up a lot of points, and they're a very scary team.
Craig Heatherly working with us courtside tonight. And Craig, the tournament is in sight. It's right around the corner. Last game of the regular season, there's not a lot on the line, so what's the motivation tonight?
Motivation. Competitors don't need motivation. They realize that putting on that jersey, it's a gift. It's a blessing. And competitors show up and show out regardless of the circumstances, and that's what those coaches are going to be looking from their players this afternoon.
You think he's fired up because Mishawaka's playing?
I think so.
I think so, too, yeah. Mishawaka and St. Joe, and we'll talk about it on the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show with the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win, and it's next on the 46th game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Interra Credit Union, HealthLink, Jordan Automotive Group, TCU, Electrical Workers, Crown Trophy, St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
Friends, this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back inside Alumni Gym in South Bend, where Mishawaka and St. Joe get ready for the regular season finale. Time now on our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show for the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win. We'll start with the visiting Cavemen of Mishawaka, led by their guard, Arthur Jones, a 5'9" senior, scoring 15 points with about 4 rebounds a game. He can light it up from three-point range, but he also leads the team in assists and is second in steals. And then they've got the silky smooth junior, Rasan Johnson. Stands 6'3" tall. He's been hot as of late, coming off a career-high 22 against Career Academy last Friday. Johnson averaging a little more than 8 points with 2 rebounds per game. The keys to win for first-year coach Bodie Bender and the Cavemen.
The keys to win tonight for the Mishawaka Cavemen. First off, they need to value the basketball. Every possession counts. They need to make sure they take care of it. I can't remember what the second one was. Oh, that's right. Read and remember the scouting report. Make sure you understand what it is that you guys prepared for this week for these Indians, and show defensive improvements. One area that they really need to improve on, Coach Bender believes. Here's Bodie Bender in his 5th season overall.
I just think for us, we have to continue to shore up some ends offensively and defensively to get ourselves ready for Tuesday night in the sectional, and to continue to get better in little areas that we need to improve on.
The St. Joe Indians are led by a familiar name to St. Joe fans. At least the last name is familiar. It's Chase Konechny, the 6'4" sophomore, the younger brother of JR, averaging 19 points and 6 rebounds per game. But he's got to get some help, and maybe it'll come from Jace Lee, a young man committed to play baseball at Notre Dame, even though he's only a junior. Lee is scoring 14 points with 4 rebounds a game. He's coming off a career-high 27 last Friday. in the loss to South Bend, Washington. The keys for second-year coach Eric Gaff and the Indians.
The keys to win tonight for the Indians, they need to make sure they defend that dribble drive. They cannot let penetration get into the lane defensively. Make them one and done. They need to put a body on somebody. They cannot let Mishawaka get any offensive second chance points and run the offense properly. It's one area that Coach Gaff has been trying to work with this group on. Here's Eric Gaff in his second season at St. Joe.
We have to keep taking strides in our rebounding and our unity as a defensive unit, which we saw in practice this week, and we saw for glimpses against Plymouth. So if we can keep that going and take that into sectionals, it'd be good for us.
The Mishawaka Cavemen looking for their 17th win of the season, one of the better years they've had in recent memory. St. Joe trying to spoil the party. Cavemen and Indians coming up. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show with the Jordan Automotive keys to win. Tip off from the starting lineups next on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and invested. PA announcer Mike McCarthy introducing the starting lineups at Alumni Gym. You get to hear the dulcet tones of Bo Hunt.
For the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Mishawaka Cavemen, sponsored by Rise and Roll in Mishawaka. Number 1, Jackson Snyder. He's got a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Very poised sophomore. Cooper Pritchett, best offensive rebounder on the team. Rashawn Johnson, he likes to slash and attack that basket. Maddox Yohe, committed to Anderson University for baseball, and Arthur Jones. He leads the team with 63 assists, and he's second with 32 steals on the season. And for the home team on the scoreboard, the St. Joe Indians, Gabe Nani, he leads the team with 78 assists on the season. Chase Knesny, the sophomore, averaging 19 a game and 6 rebounds. Brother of JR that plays at Notre Dame. Good things in Chase's future. Jace Lee's committed to Notre Dame on a baseball scholarship. He leads the team with 37 steals, averaging almost 14 a game. Brayshawn Woods, the sophomore, averaging 12 a game. He's the top offensive rebounder on the team. And Braylon White, starting the freshman tonight, just 6'2", but puts a lot of adversity out there for the opposing team. Those are your starting lineups for tonight's games. And here's a check on the uniforms for the game, brought to you by St. Andrews Products. The home team, the St. Joe Indians, wearing the white jerseys and shorts, blue numbers and letters and trim, and the visiting team, the Cavemen, wearing the maroon jerseys and shorts, white numbers, letters, and trim. And these teams look great, and so can your team. For the finest in apparel and promotional products, contact St. Andrews Products at sales@standrewscourt.com. And as the tip gets underway, the Hall of Famer Chuck Freeby to give you the play-by-play.
And the opening tip, sponsored by the City of South Bend Golf, as it's controlled by the Mishawaka Cavemen, 16-6. They have lost 4 of their last 6. Their best win came against Tippecanoe Valley, but their only sub-500 loss was to Goshen. Arthur Jones gets it over to Rashawn Johnson as the Indians open up in the man-to-man defense. Down low to Cooper Pritchett. He puts it off the glass and in, and the first basket of the game scored by the Cavemen. Pritchett, the 6'3" junior, averaging 7 points a game. St. Joe Indians 10-13 on the season. Their best wins over Glenn and Riley. Gabe Nani handles it outside.
Pritchett, one of those guys getting a lot of quality playing time here as of recently, really stepping up for this Caveman program.
Jace Lee outside, guarded by Jackson Snyder. Here's Braylon White. Now Chase Knesny down the lane, but he was fouled by the bearded Maddox Yohe. That's the first on Yohe.
I think one area Mishawaka can't afford to get in foul trouble. They got some guys that can come off the bench, but they're a team that's really looking for some cohesiveness with their starters out there.
Knesny tried to say he was in the act of shooting. He was not. Nani triggers the inbound, knocked out of bounds by Rashawn Johnson. It's a St. Joe team that is very offensively oriented. They score 61 points a game, which is pretty good in high school basketball. The problem for the Indians, they've been giving up 65.
Well, that's one area when you talk about the scoring kind of being down. And when you score 60 points a game, you think your record would be well above 500, but not in their case.
Jace Lee, my goodness, he hit that one from LaSalle Street. And it's 3-2 Indians and a reach-in foul called against the Tribe.
Brayshawn Wood picking up his first foul on the reach-in.
So Mishawaka will inbound underneath its own basket. This is a Mishawaka team that has been more offensive-oriented than we've seen in the past. They scored just a shade under 60 points a game. Inbounds pass kicked away by Konechny, and Mishawaka will control it.
Big thank you to Barnaby's in South Bend. They've been your home for the best pizza in South Bend for over 50 years. Stop on out on Saturday. It's a great day to order pizza for dinner.
Cavemen and a whistle from Mark McCammon. I'm not sure exactly what happened there on the inbound pass. I think Arthur Jones might have stepped over the inbound line. But they're bringing the ball. Well, Mark's walking the ball all over the court.
I think they were walking up to talk to Coach Bender for a second.
St. Joe gets the ball back on the turnover, a rather mysterious one. Lee gets it down low to Brayshawn Woods. Outside Konechny for three. Chase Konechny, his 41st three-pointer of the season, and it's 6-2 try.
Well, that's one thing that Cavemen have to do, and they know they got to get a hand in his face, and he came out the three-point line wide open on that possession.
Arthur Jones tries to answer, can't do it, and Konechny soars for the rebound. Indians in a hurry. Jace Lee missed the shot. The rebound to Rasan Johnson. Now Mishawaka in transition, and Johnson couldn't get it to go. Pritchett took the rebound away and put it in.
What a great physical attribute Cooper Pritchett gives on the inside, just taking that ball away. He wanted that ball more than him.
Konechny trying to drive, finds Nani in the corner. The soccer star loses it off his foot appropriately enough. Konechny open for three, got it again. Chase Konechny and the Indians start out 3 for 3 from three-point range and open up a 9-4 lead. Johnson trying to drive. Spins, had it knocked away by Lee. Recovered by White to Konechny. Stop and go for two. That's 8 for Chase.
We saw this St. Joe team earlier in the year against Northwood. They had the open shots. They just couldn't knock them down. Tonight, they're knocking them down.
And nothing boosts confidence like good shooting. Maddox, Joey, and the Cavemen trying to slow the pace a little bit. Rasan Johnson guarded by Jace Lee. Here's Jackson Snyder, the sophomore. Good help defense that time by Nani, who was shading off of Jones. And Jones forced that shot, couldn't get it to go, out of bounds. It'll go to Mishawaka.
Yeah, Jones a little off balance. He was looking for a foul on that attempt. Here comes Brady Fisher getting ready to check in the lineup as well.
This is a big moment for the Cavemen.
I said Brady.
And now we've got a reversal on the call. And a timeout called by Mishawaka. We'll take it as well. 4:14 to go here in the first quarter. 11-4 St. Joe on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. I want to go courtside for a Bill's Heating report with Craig Heatherly. Was the call reversed on the out-of-bounds call down there, Craig?
Was it what?
Was the call reversed on that out-of-bounds call?
It sure was.
Okay.
And that's why they work well as a team.
The original Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way has all your favorites. Stop by this season for a delicious Bonnie burger, fries, and a root beer float. For over 85 years, Bonnie Doon has been part of the community. Great food and rich, creamy ice cream make Bonnie Doon a favorite destination for a cool treat. Grab a taste of nostalgia at the Bonnie Doon Drive-In. Check their Facebook page for daily specials and look for opening day coming soon.
So St. Joe has the ball. Brady Fisher has checked into the game for Mishawaka. His first action since the Fairfield game. He was out with a thumb injury, but got the clearance this morning from the doctor.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit before the game. He got the cast off 5-second call. You don't see that very often. Got the cast off this morning, asked how it feels. He says, feels great, just a little stiff. I can imagine being in a cast for that long and, you know, having that stiffness in your hand. He's got it taped up, though.
Braylon White called for the 5-second call. First turnover against St. Joe tonight. Midway through the first, Arthur Jones with the pat of the head. Got a screen from Fisher, and that opened up the lane for Jones to drive for two. And those are the little things that Brady Fisher brings to this team. Don't show up on stat sheets, but man, do they help you win. Rayshawn Woods working on Maddox Yohe. And works around him, couldn't hit the shot. Fisher the rebound. Fisher in transition. Spins and gives it to Pritchett, who had it blocked by White. 3-on-1. Jace Lee can't hit. The rebound to Jackson Snyder. At the other end, Jones was fouled by Braylon White.
It looks like they're going to call that on the floor before the shot, but definitely getting up and down the court. Both teams kind of want to set the tempo. Some of them, they want to slow it down, get the rhythm going. Both of them can go both half court and fast break.
Jones will trigger the inbound for the Cavemen, who trail by 5. Fisher works into the paint. Jace Lee strips him once. Fisher forces it, no call. Pritchett gets it back. Snyder for 3. Yes, sir. Jackson Snyder buries his 10th three-pointer of the season. And just like that, the Cavemen back within 2.
Yeah, great inside-out look there, getting it out to Jackson. Everybody was down in on Fisher. Just a great outlet pass. Knock it down by Snyder.
Rayshawn Woods, stop, pop, drop. Woods' first basket of the game. He averages 12 a contest. At the other end, Fisher backs down Lee and can't hit. The rebound to White. End-to-end action in the opening quarter. Nani outside Konechny, got a stop on Fisher. Wouldn't go, though, and the rebound to Snyder. Mishawaka has done a good job on the boards early on.
Yeah, they've just done a great job of really boxing out. Both these teams really need to make sure they don't give second chance points and really take care of the basketball. Haven't been a lot of turnovers either.
Jones drives right past Nani for 2.
Man, he's got a quick first step, doesn't he?
Arthur Jones with 4 points. He averages 15 a game. And Eric Gaff calls out a new play from the St. Joe sideline. Konechny around Fisher, Euro step for 2. And Chase has 10 in the first quarter. 15-11 Indians. Jones, Lee nearly got that pass, but instead he fouls Brady Fisher over on the sideline. The first foul on Jace Lee.
Worldwide Jewelry and Pawn offer a vast selection of jewelry, instruments, firearms, electronics, and more. We have something for everyone. Did we mention our prices beat box stores every time? Visit one of our locations in Elkhart, Mishawaka, South Bend, or Roseland.
Trey Place takes the place of Gabe Nani. Place wears 22. The Indians giving a little bit of a zone look here, which leaves Snyder open for 3. He can't connect. And the rebound out of bounds off Mishawaka.
The South Bend Farmers Market is proud to support the Mishawaka and St. Joe basketball teams. Come by the South Bend Farmers Market. We're open Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Located in South Bend, right off of Mishawaka Avenue.
Jones nearly took it away from Lee, and he caused the turnover as Pritchett gets the steal. Jones in transition, found Snyder open. Couldn't get it to go, but they'll give him a line for free throws.
Braylon White picking up his second foul here early in the first period.
This is not a St. Joe team that goes quite deep on its bench. Meanwhile, Jackson Snyder, a 77% free throw shooter, goes to the line. Snyder, a three-sport athlete. He was an all-state junior all-state linebacker, and is also a pole vaulter.
And Jackson shooting 77% on the season, the highest percentage on this Mishawaka Cavemen team.
See Gabe Nani and Tyler Brown check into the game, taking the place of Lee and White. Snyder, a sophomore, averaging 4 points a game, has 3 already. And there's the fourth. 1 of 2 at the stripe. Cavemen back within 3. Nani guarded by Jones. And stolen away by Fisher. Fisher trying to keep his balance. Spinning into the paint, couldn't score. Konechny the rebound.
Man, you can see what a difference it is to have somebody like that, athletic, like Fisher, getting that back in that lineup. You can tell he's trying to get his wind back as well.
Rayshawn Woods moving on Pritchett, lost the handle. Fisher another steal. And then Yowie is fouled by Trey Place.
Everyone loves Rise and Roll Donuts in Mishawaka, but did you know they also offer pies, jellies, soup mixes, Amish noodles, and so much more? Rise and Roll also offers a large line of gluten-free products. Stop by this week for your favorite Rise and Roll Donuts and so much more. Located on Grape Road in Mishawaka, open Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays, 7 to 5. Rise and Roll, doing things the old-fashioned way.
5 fouls already on St. Joe. Yowie to trigger the inbound. Jones as the Cavemen will hold for 1 shot. You see the clock, right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Trey Brown guarding Jones, who stops, pops, couldn't get it to go. Fisher the rebound, and he stepped out of bounds as the quarter came to an end. A quarter with lightning quick action at both ends of the floor. The threes dropping early for St. Joe. Jace Lee and Chase Konechny both dialed long distance for the Indians, but the Cavemen still hanging around, trailing just 15-12 after 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joe County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. First quarter was brought to us by Worldwide Jewelry and Pawn. Time now for a Bills Heating courtside report. Craig Heather, your thoughts on the first 8 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know if either coach is going to be happy with their team's attention and focus on the scouting report. You saw Konechny for St. Joe get loose, make a couple open shots, drive to his right hand and score it. And then Jones for Mishawaka, when he's got space, he's got the ability to, he's a jitterbug. He can get himself to the rim, but the difference in that corner was Brady Fisher. The kid is playing like his hair is on fire.
And it's showing.
Yeah, when you're out for a certain period of time and you're, an athlete like Brady is and, play multiple sports, leaders of teams, you want to get back in there. You want to help your team do everything you can because you've missed it for such a long period of time. And you can see that energy that he brings out there.
And let's not get confused. He's been practicing.
Yeah.
He just has been limited in what he can do in practice. Finally got the clearance to go full go today. Second quarter being brought to us as well by Worldwide Jewelry and Pawn. Chase Konechny triggers the inbound for the St. Joe Indians, who lead by 3. Gabe Nani handles it up top. Arthur Jones fouls him.
Worldwide Jewelry and Pawn offers cash loans for items you bring in as collateral. If the loan is paid off, we return the item to you. It's as simple as that. Also, if you have something to sell, we buy a huge variety of items, including jewelry, tools, instruments, electronics, video games, lawn equipment, and a whole lot more. That's Worldwide Jewelry and Pawn.
Tyler Brown gets it on over to Rayshawn Woods. Here's Nani. Rashawn Johnson poked it away. Here comes Mishawaka. 4 turnovers now for St. Joe. Johnson for 3. Fisher the rebound over Nani. Fisher looking for help, and 3 seconds.
Kept that ball down low the whole time. Couldn't get it worked up to get it high up above his head.
Meanwhile, you look at Mishawaka, and Bodie Bender has been doing this quite a bit this year, bringing in fresh legs at the start of the second quarter. So Anthony Nelson in the game now. Ace Troyer in there for the Cavemen as well, as they try to wear down the Indians. Nani gets it on the give and go, spins through the lane with the right hand for two.
Wow, what a great move.
Gabe Nani had that one on a string. St. Joe by 5. Fisher outside. Hassan Johnson has Trey Place right in his grill. Here's Jones behind the back and fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line for 2.
I believe that's going to be on Jace Lee. Jace Lee will pick up his second foul on the night.
So that would give Braylon White and Jace Lee each 2 fouls. And Arthur Jones, a 62% free throw shooter, will go to the foul line for Mishawaka. Jones, the leading scorer on this Caveman team this year at 15 a game. He came off the bench to start the year, didn't like it, but Bodie Bender was sending a message as a first-year coach, and Jones received it well.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. You know, you don't like something, do something about it. He did something about it, showed that he wanted to be out there, dedicated himself to the game a little bit more, and became one of the better kids in the area.
You just saw number 12, Brady Mansfield, check in for St. Joe. Jones goes 1 of 2 on that trip with the stripe. Rashawn Woods with the rebound. Konechny directing traffic and finds his way open down the baseline for 2.
That was just a great job of accepting the contact that he had on that shot, going through the contact and finishing.
12 points for Chase already. Jones lost the handle, but it was stripped away by Nani.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies brand is globally known as a knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. IFT is proud to support all student athletes.
Johnson, he nearly lost the handle as well. And did. It's taken away by Mansfield. Konechny in transition finds Woods for 2. That is when St. Joe is at its best, when it's in transition. But the Indians are running into some foul trouble here as Nani picks up one here. Take another look on the R&B Car Company replay, though. Great look from Konechny.
Yeah, they got it up the floor to Konechny. He did a great job of looking up even further to Woods. Great finish by Woods, and yes, you're right. Their transition is where they want to get into.
Maddox Yohe checks back in as Arthur Jones goes to the foul line again. And hits the first to the front end of the 1-and-1. Mishawaka shoots it at a 66% clip. When Bodie Bender was in school, that was an unacceptable number. Now that's pretty much the standard for most teams.
Yeah, we've talked about that for the last couple of years, about the standard at the free throw line.
St. Joe, by the way, very good foul shooting team at 73%. Uh-oh, Mansfield got himself in trouble there. And that's the 5th turnover on St. Joe.
Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Eric Gaff coaching up his young squad over there on the sideline as he takes Mansfield out and takes the chance of putting Jace Lee back in with 2 fouls. Fisher blocked by Konechny. Ball loose. Fisher got it back to Yohe for 2. Boy, great persistence there by Brady Fisher. Maddox Yohe with his first basket of the game. Konechny got around a screen. Outside to Trey Place. Here's Nani outside for 3. Bring it up. And the Indians are 4-4 from 3-point range.
Yeah, one area that St. Joe has to stay hot is that 3-point line. They're doing a good job of it tonight.
That's just the 7th 3 of the year for Nani. At the other end, the three is netted by Anthony Nelson. Nelson, a 32% three-point shooter on the year.
Anthony Nelson had no question he was going to shoot that ball. As soon as he got it, he fired that up quick with a quick release.
That's his daddy in him, Ian, who would do that at Clay. Here's Lee trying to power inside. Konechny found a lane, tripped, but was able to successfully get it to Brayshawn Woods, who was fouled on the way up.
Martin Supermarket Groceries to Go annual subscriptions are now available, just $29.99 for the year. Get ad pricing, digital coupons, recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martingroceries2go.com.
The foul is on Ace Troyer as you take a look at Brayshawn Woods at the foul line. 77% free throw shooter on the year. So, of course, he misses the first. Woods, a 6'2 sophomore, averages 12 points with 4 rebounds a game. And he missed them both. Yowie with the rebound. So here's Mishawaka, which by its standard has not played particularly well as of late and has not necessarily in this game, but they're only down 4. Midway through the second quarter. Jones working against Nani. Now it's Yowie outside. He drives, shoots, can't hit. Good defense that time by Lee. Nani. Oh, Konechny wide open for 3. The rebound by Place, he can't hit it either. Fisher saves it going out of bounds. At the other end, Jones fails, but here's Konechny with the rebound for St. Joe. Lee was fouled on the way up by Brady Fisher. They'll say the foul was on the floor, not in the act of shooting.
Yeah, I think mainly because he was so far behind the basket and he kind of turned to throw it. Here's the R&B Car Company replay. Little body, might have been a little contact on Jace Lee as well, but Fisher's going to be called on that almost every time.
And St. Joe will take a timeout, so will we. 3:25 to go first half. Back and forth they go, but it's the Indians by 4 on 46. Friends, this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Take a look at St. Joe breaking that huddle, and Chase Konechny a big part of it. He came into the game tonight needing just 66 points to join his brother JR as the only sophomores in Indians history to score 500 in a season. That's sponsored by Anderson, Agostino, and Keller. Chase has 12 of those 66 already.
A lot of good players don't even score 500 in a career.
Speak for yourself. Here's Lee for 3. The iron unkind of the rebound to Ace Troyer. Now Jack Troyer in the game. Where's number 11? And threw it away.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see a tip at all on that one.
Mark McCammon looking at Ray Dix. Ray Dix was looking back at Mark. Neither one of them saw anything, so it's St. Joe ball. Jace Lee, now Chase Konechny. Yohe with the unenviable task of trying to guard him. Lee on the baseline. Bang. Jace Lee with 5 here in the first half. Sometimes you can overcomplicate things. The simple reason St. Joe's up 6 in this game is they've shot the ball better tonight.
Yeah, they've got the better shots. They've executed better as well.
Here's Nelson for 3. He's got 6 off the bench.
Nelson's like, put me in, coach. I want to knock down some threes.
And he is doing that job. Konechny. Now Lee drives baseline, and Fisher forced him into a turnover.
Just the size of Fisher inside, able to control his body, caused that turnover. Here you can see the R&B Car Company replay. Maybe got away with a little bit of a body there coming into Chase Lee.
A reminder to Brady, football season starts in August. Wow.
That might have been over and back as well right there.
Here's a three from Nelson. Oh, but he can't put it in. Troyer couldn't. And at the other end, Jace Lee is fouled on the way up.
Yeah, I think they're going to actually probably get Fisher on the floor on the reach-in on that one.
It is called on Fisher. That's his second that's been called.
I think they called it on the floor as well. Yeah. Wow.
Eric Gaff asking Ray Dix how in the world that can be.
Cavemen's only 5th foul on the night.
Fisher staying in there with 2 fouls with 1:54 left first half. Konechny gets the inbounds pass, splits the defenders, and then it pinballs to Konechny on the ground to Donnie. No. And he found to Ace Troyer. Wow. And it's a 1-possession game still. Mishawaka is still very much in this.
Just a lot of easy buckets that aren't going down for either team.
Nelson to Ace Troyer with the left-hand layup. That was pretty. Some good, solid, fundamental basketball that time by the Cavemen.
Yeah, great give and go on that one to Troyer.
White into the lane. Lee carries it in, and held ball is called.
Yeah.
Alternating possession will go to Mishawaka.
I like the way they looked at each other on that call. You can see the R&B Car Company replay. One rep held his arm up like it was going to be a foul, but he was behind the play. The one in front of the play saw it more clearly and said, yep, that's a jump ball.
Terrific defense by Jack Troyer that time for Mishawaka. And with a minute left here in the first half, Cavemen can take the lead. Pritchett outside. Thrown away. It'll be an over and back on Mishawaka.
A new year means a new beginning, so isn't it time to work for a company where employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Rushcore in Bristol is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Rushcore family, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Rayshawn Woods to Konechny outside. Let's see if St. Joe decides to try to hold for one. It's not necessarily in their DNA.
They don't look as aggressive as they have in the last few possessions. Look like they're just working it around a little bit.
Rayshawn Woods down the baseline for 2. Woods with 6 tonight. Mishawaka needs to be aware of the clock, and I'm not sure they are. Nelson from half court too strong. First half comes to an end with St. Joe on top, 28-25. Craig Heatherly has St. Joe head coach Eric Gaff. Go ahead, Craig.
Coach Gaff, that half was back and forth. Both teams are competing. What was your evaluation of the first half?
We said it right. Both teams are competing really hard, and that's why we're in the lead right now. Still got to clean up some offensive rebounding or defensive rebounding issues, and not hustling to get on the floor for a loose ball. But all in all, pretty happy with the way it's turned out so far.
Yeah, your physicality on the basketball defensively has been bothering Mishawaka. Any adjustments there defensively?
Yeah, we want to try and now get up full court. I think we can try and wear them down. And so we're going to try and push them there and see if we can't wear out those 2 guards.
Awesome. Good luck in the second half, Coach. Back to you, Chuck.
All right, thanks a lot, Craig. Stick around, everybody. We've got our student athletes of the week from Tony Letcher and Health Markets, plus halftime highlights and staff. It's St. Joe on top of Mishawaka, 28-25. You're watching the 46th game of the week. Halftime here at Alumni Gym. Time to honor our student athletes of the week. It's a feature brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher with Health Markets. Jack Aronowski from St. Joe High School stands next to me right now. Lily Deeds from Mishawaka, a little bit late getting here tonight, but Lily is an outstanding member of the diving team. In fact, she qualified for state in diving at Mishawaka. She's also a cheerleader and a member of the track squad as well. A junior for the Mishawaka Cavemen, so we want to congratulate Lily Deeds on her great accomplishments. She also works for the City of Mishawaka Parks Department. This tiny fellow over here is Jack Aronowski, three-sport athlete here at St. Joe, member of the football team, just qualified for state in wrestling a couple of weeks ago, and is going to try his hand at lacrosse this year, all while balancing the schoolwork. How in the world do you do all that?
Well, you know, I like to get up early in the morning and try and work out before so I can not only focus on my sports, but my academics gives me time to do things after school. So it's not just like, if people want to put that extra work in and try and work out after school, it almost leaves you no time to study. So I got to get up early, work out, and then I can focus on my studies after school, after practice.
And of course, wrestling is a sport that requires great discipline as well. I'm sure you practice that on the mat. It's got to be tough, though. This school is not necessarily known as a wrestling cauldron like Penn or Mishawaka. So how do you discipline yourself in that way as well?
Well, you know, yeah, like you just said, we're not really known for wrestling. So coming here, I wasn't very good my freshman year, sophomore year, kind of got it. Junior year, got a little bit more, and then this year I got it a lot. But yeah, we're not known for it, and the bar was kind of second, third place. The coaches would be like, oh, he got second, he got third, good job, you did the best on the team. I think really what changed it for me and able to get first in NIC and sectionals was going over to the coaches at Riley in the summertime and focusing on those. They're very welcoming. If you're willing to come there and put the work in, they'll let you come and welcome you as one of their own. All those guys are awesome. And a big thanks to Coach Norm and Coach Will here at St. Joe. If you text them like, hey, can you come in the room any time of day, they'll be like, yep, I'll come open it for you. We'll get some work in.
Yeah, it's a great community, the wrestling community, very generous with each other. I imagine you have a terrific support system behind you as well. Who are some of the people that have made a difference in your life?
Well, definitely my mom and my dad, always going out the extra mile, going to the grocery store, getting me all that meat I eat and all the food I eat. But yeah, definitely them.
And then you're going to Benedictine College in Kansas. What prompted you to make that decision to play football there?
Well, I had heard of them before because my sister actually attended that college. And I knew that they were good because I remember going there. I didn't know it's a small school, but I remember seeing their football team was really good, and they were like undefeated, and they made the national champion that year for NAIA. A few other schools reached out to me, wanted to come. I went on some visits, and I went over there, and Coach Osborne really showed me around, showed me a great tour of the campus, and I saw them struggle on the first drive of the game that I was at of their homecoming, first two drives, and it kind of reminded me of St. Joe when we struggled, but then they turned it around and they ended up beating that team like 45-0, something like that, and I was very impressed with the way they handled things and composed themselves, and I thought, that's where I want to be. I want to be part of a winning culture, and that was the decision for me.
Well, congratulations on that. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Chuck.
Jack Aronowski from St. Joe High School, one of our student athletes of the week, a feature brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher with Health Markets. Stick around. We've got halftime highlights and stats coming up. You're watching the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Halftime here at Alumni Gym with St. Joe leading Mishawaka 28-25. Welcome everybody inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt with you courtside tonight, and it's been entertaining. It hasn't always had the greatest execution, but it's been fast paced.
Well, it's two teams that we knew were trying to get ready for that sectional run, and two teams are trying to find themselves, so they're really getting after it, going up and down the floor. I love the energy that both teams have. They just got to find that syncness and that cohesiveness and find their offense a little bit more.
Let's show you how it got to be this way inside Alumni Gym tonight, because came out, Cooper Pritchett scored the first couple of baskets for Mishawaka, but then Chase Konechny found the distance for the St. Joe Indians, who hit their first 4 3-pointers tonight. And Konechny showed he could get the job done down low. He had 10 points in the first quarter. Still, Mishawaka hanging around thanks to this Jackson Snyder 3. He had 4 points in the first half. Nice move here by Gabe Nani, who had 5 points for St. Joe in that first half. Konechny leading all scorers right now with 12 as he gets the baseline layup here. And then Konechny in transition after the steal by Mansfield finds Brayshawn Woods for the bucket, but Anthony Nelson had 2 big threes off the bench for Mishawaka, and that's one of the reasons the Cavemen are only down 3, despite shooting just 39% in the first half.
Yeah, almost a 20% differential in the field goal percentage between the two teams, but they're only down by 3, and I think a lot of that is just the way they're playing out there. The turnovers 7 to 4, I think that's a little bit to do with they've been able to capitalize on those, and the second chance points that Mishawaka's been able to get tonight.
By the way, want to give a shout out to Bethany and Fairfield girls. Bethany, Kristen Parsons, their head coach, gave me that nice bracelet that says "You Matter." That's been one of their themes this year.
Yep.
They play in the 1A state championship game on Saturday morning. Fairfield, of course, we showed the semi-state win last week. They play in the 3A state championship game Saturday night at 6. Unfortunately, we can't carry those games this year, but we're thinking of you, Bruins and Falcons. And 2 schools, 4.5 miles apart, playing for state titles.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Just the communities that are right there next to each other, going down to Indianapolis to play for a state championship. 2 communities that, you know, the last one out of town is going to turn the lights off on the way down to Indianapolis. That's what they always say in those small town communities.
A couple of schools here that would like to make surprising tournament runs next week. St. Joe leading Mishawaka 28-25. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department halftime report. Second half play-by-play from Alumni Gym comes your way next on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. Let's give you our TCU trivia question right away here before we go to Craig Heatherly. J.R. Konechny is St. Joe's all-time leading scorer, but whose record did he break? We'll answer that after we find out in our Bills Heating courtside report from Craig Heatherly what Bodie Bender has to do to adjust here in the second half. Craig?
Yeah, he wants to see his team offensively share the basketball, especially early in possessions, and then find opportunities to drive the basketball. And then defensively, stick to the game plan, lock in on the scouting report, cannot lose Konechny from the 3, or you can't let him get to his right hand. He just wants to see his team continue to bring the effort that they brought there in the first half, but then also clean up some of those mistakes and mess-ups.
All right, thanks, Craig. And now it's time to answer that TCU trivia question.
Is that girls and boys?
No, but that's a good point. We probably should have made it that way. I'm just looking for
I knew the freebies played, so I didn't know, you know.
No. There was nobody in that category, but the record he broke was Chris Quinn. Not the good doctor out in Granger, but the young man that went to the University of Evansville and had a nice D1 career down there for the Aces. 1,700 points in his St. Joe career.
Back in '93, that was a great year.
He went to the Final Four that year under the Colonel, Steve Austin.
Yep.
After having gone in '89, and then he really rebuilt that '93 team by playing those kids who were seniors in '93 as freshmen back in '90.
Yeah, and they beat Warsaw to make to the Final Four that year.
I believe so.
Because Warsaw knocked
Pete
us
Miller,
out.
who later would be a coach at St. Joe, was on that team as well. So 28-25, St. Joe leads it as we get ready to begin the second half. Indians have the ball. Chase Konechny inbounding right in front of our broadcast point.
Starters return for both teams.
Both teams going with their starters to begin the second half. Konechny likes going to the right, as Craig mentioned. Kicks it out to Jace Lee, who powers his way through the lane for 2.
Nice take off the start for Jace Lee, breaking that man-to-man coverage and going right at him.
Lee with 7 points. He's committed to play baseball at Notre Dame for Sean Stifler. Arthur Jones for 3, missed to the left, and Nani with the rebound. Lee in transition. This is where he shines, and Pritchett says, "Get that out of here from behind." Yowie down the lane, and Nani knocks it out of bounds.
This game's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink, who reminds you that good vision is key to the success on the field and in the classroom. Schedule your child's yearly eye exam at HealthLink today. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more, regardless of your ability to pay.
A little bit of a wet spot on the court. Ray Dix will stamp it out. Cavemen inbound. It comes to Yowie. And he got tied up a little bit underneath and lost the ball. Lee got up and down.
Ooh, wasn't sure he actually came down the whole way before he passed it. It just looked funky, so they went ahead and called the travel on it.
Lee trying to say, I never left my feet. The officials disagreed. And I got news, they're not taking a poll. Rashawn Johnson staggers his way down the lane. Snyder knocked it out of bounds and might have turned his ankle a little bit as he landed.
A big shout out to Barnaby's in South Bend. They've been your hometown pizza in South Bend for over 50 years. Stop by Saturday. It's a great day to order pizza for dinner. They fed our crew tonight, did an awesome job of feeding everybody.
Always good stuff. Lee into the lane again, throws it up wildly, and Pritchett gets the rebound. People are looking for foul calls that aren't happening. Pritchett lost the handle. Snyder got it back. Yohe for three. Maddox Yohe buries the three-pointer. He has 5, and the Cavemen back within 2. Nani. Brayshawn Woods. Yohe submarined him. Lee for 3. And the rebound, Rashawn Johnson. Mishawaka on the run. Johnson all the way, and we're tied. His first basket of the night. Konechny bothered by Johnson in the backcourt. Konechny double teamed, and there's the foul call.
Yeah, just being a little bit too aggressive on that one. I thought they were playing great defense on him, but just getting a little too aggressive with the hands.
Maddox Yohe will check out. Brady Fisher back in the game for Mishawaka. Nani directs traffic but by the timeline. There's Trey Place. Now Braylon White gives it off to Konechny, who came down the baseline and put it over Fisher for 2. Chase Konechny using the rim well as a protector that time.
Yeah, again, the second time he's done that tonight, going up and under on the backside, just doing a great job of using his length and body.
Johnson fouled from behind by Trey Place, the second on Place.
Change of foul, 22 Place, team's first of the half.
Mishawaka will inbound, trailing by 2. 5:06 to go, third quarter. Good crowd on hand tonight. Seeing Arthur Jones give Mishawaka the lead. Jones with 10 as he buries his first 3 of the night and his 35th of the season. Konechny on the drive, has to back it back out. Now fires the 3, it's short. Good rebound by Johnson.
They're just making Konechny work as hard as possible for every single shot. Great steal by Place.
And Woods at the other end had the shot altered by Rashawn Johnson. Now it's Pritchett to Fisher. He's got a head of steam and the foul called on St. Joe. Eric Gaff wants to say that the hand was on top of the ball, but Mark McCammon saw it differently. The foul on Gabe Nani. You take a look from R&B Kark, and they watch 10 with the contact on the arm.
That was all arm, didn't even get the ball. The original Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way has all your favorites. Stop by this season for a delicious Bonnie burger, fries, and a root beer float. For over 85 years, Bonnie Doon has been part of the community. Great food and rich, creamy ice cream make Bonnie Doon a favorite destination for a cool treat. Grab a taste of nostalgia at the Bonnie Doon Drive-In. Check their Facebook page for daily specials and look for their opening day, which is coming soon.
Bonnie Doon sponsoring the Mishawaka free throws. Brady Fisher, the All-NLC quarterback, 70% foul shooter, but he missed them both. And Konechny couldn't hang on to the rebound. Johnson picks up the loose change.
Mishawaka getting a lot of second chance points here in the second half. Just a great job of executing, knocking them down as well.
It's a physical contest and a turnover on St. Joe as the ball deflected off the forehead of Place. Eric Gaff wanting to bring a little more pressure defensively. Mishawaka trailed by 3 at the half, but they've opened this half with a 10-4 run. And Jones lights it up from 3. He's got 13. The Cavemen students across the way love it. Mishawaka with its biggest lead, and Snyder knocks it out of bounds.
Mishawaka just playing more physical at this point in the game.
Timeout called by St. Joe. 3:49 to go, third quarter. Cavemen on a run, lead at 38-32 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. Tell you, Bodie Bender has done a great job in his first season at Mishawaka. In fact, Anderson, Agostino, and Keller would remind you that the 16 wins he has coming in tonight are the most by any first-year Mishawaka coach ever.
Yeah, he's just done a great job with the group that he has. I mean, you got some underclassmen, some sophomores, you got some leaders with some of the seniors, and, you know, you got a lot of juniors that are really stepping up with his team. So program that he's putting together there, really people are buying in and understanding the culture that he wants to bring to the program.
And he inherited a program that was in solid shape from Ron Hecklinski, who is here tonight broadcasting. Heck getting over a little bit of hernia surgery.
Come walking in a little gingerly today.
St. Joe with the ball, trailing by 6. 3:49 to go here in the third. Let's see if the timeout can settle the Indians down and get their offense back on track. Chase Konechny guarded by Brady Fisher. Gabe Nani in the corner. Rayshawn Woods. Mishawaka doing a good job of shadowing Konechny now. And Braylon White lost the handle. Here's Mishawaka. Fisher for 2. 8-point Caveman lead. The defense really ratcheting up here in the third quarter for Mishawaka.
Yeah, they're just making St. Joe force things and not be able to handle the ball very well. Again, right there.
Snyder with the steal and score. And the Indians really telegraphing those passes right now, and the Cavemen are reading them.
Well, I always say in sports, when you fall into some quicksand, it can keep taking you and taking you further and further. You got to be able to stop it at some point.
Here's Konechny for 3. That'll help the cause for the Indians. Chase now with 17. Rasan Johnson trying to work on Braylon White. Pritchett traveling.
The South Bend Farmers Market is proud to support the Mishawaka and St. Joe basketball teams. Come by the South Bend Farmers Market. We're open Tuesdays and Thursdays 7 to 2 and Saturdays 7 to 3. Located in South Bend right off of Mishawaka Ave.
Gabe Nani on the handle for St. Joe. Trey Place outside. There's Konechny down on the block. He got into the lane. A lot of contact, no call. Fisher the rebound. Johnson at the other end feeds Pritchett. Had it blocked. Pritchett has it blocked again, but this time the foul called on Braylon White.
Yeah, it looked like he got over the top just a little bit too much. Got a little piece of that arm.
So Cooper Pritchett, 60% free throw shooter, will go to the line as you get another look here from R&B Car Company. Free throw sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In, and Coop missed the first.
Everyone loves Rise and Roll Donuts in Mishawaka, but did you know they also offer pies, jellies, soup mixes, Amish noodles, and so much more? Rise and Roll also offers a large line of gluten-free products. Stop by this week for your favorite Rise and Roll Donuts and so much more.
That is the second time tonight that Mishawaka has missed both free throws, but then collected the offensive rebound and wound up getting the 2 points anyway. And in a 9-point game like this, that can be huge. So too can charging calls on Konechny as Cooper Pritchett takes his 10th charge this season. He might as well call himself Macy's.
Just a great job here. You can see the R&B Car Company replay. It's not like he was set, but he had position, and Konechny put the elbow right into the chest.
Tough, gritty player. Gets it over to Fisher. Spin move for 2.
Fisher with 6 points here in the second half. Just a great job really coming out here and putting their dominance on this St. Joe team.
Meanwhile, it's Brayshawn Woods going down the baseline, blocked by Pritchett. Konechny picks it up, couldn't hit. Pritchett the rebound. And Bodie Bender wants to see his team run the offense here with Rasan Johnson at the point. Snyder shoves it in the corner for Jones. He'll launch that 3. That's an air ball, and the rebound comes to Woods. Ahead to White for 2. Braylon White's first basket of the game. Jones the other way. And that shot knocked out of bounds by Brayshawn Woods.
Doing a great job really getting the ball up, but they're kind of forcing just a little bit. They need to make that one extra pass.
Jones will send it inbound. Knocked away. Here comes Woods, 3-on-1. Pritchett, and that's going to be, will it be intentional? That's the question.
I think he reached around the backside. I think they all thought it was going to be an easy layup, but
Eric Gaff wanted the intentional call, but it's merely a common foul on Cooper Pritchett. You see on the R&B Car Company replay.
It's nothing.
Not when you played, that's for sure.
No. Just a little contact.
Konechny and the Indians will try to get the last shot here and grab some momentum headed to the 4th. Nani for 3. Wouldn't go. White held ball. Alternating possession goes to Mishawaka with 4.1 left.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies brand is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. IFT is proud to support all student athletes.
Great execution, and Snyder lays it in to end the 3rd. Bodie Bender fired up in front of the Cavemen bench, and why not? His team had a terrific 3rd quarter, erupting for 23 points in the stanza, and Jackson Snyder and the Cavemen take an 11-point lead to the 4th on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153, making our communities brighter since 1914. Craig Heatherly, I want to come to you for a Bills Eating courtside report. What was the difference for the Cavemen in the 3rd?
The difference was the players for the Cavemen were taking the focus off themselves and making it about the team. And that frees you up to play your best game, and that team was the most connected in that quarter.
It was also about defense.
Yeah, I think their intensity level just stepped up so much. It's like they want this game more, and they feel that they have the confidence out there that St. Joe doesn't. Once something happens, we noticed this against Northwood too. Once stuff started going a little bad for St. Joe, they kind of back down just a little bit.
It's a sign of youth, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely 100%. Yep.
The other thing, and we'd mentioned this a couple times in the first half, Mishawaka wasn't shooting it well. You said in the halftime stats, they were 18 percentage points behind St. Joe shooting, and yet only down 3 at halftime.
Yeah.
So once they got things figured out, it's no wonder they're up in this game by 11 right now. Here's Braylon White down the baseline, bucket in the bump. The foul on Brady Fisher, his 3rd. And Braylon White, a 69% foul shooter, will go to the line, trying to get the old-fashioned 3-point play. Young man who went to Holy Cross grade school, same grade school where Jaden Ivey went. And he has 5 points tonight, only a freshman.
One of those freshmen getting a lot of playing time for this St. Joe team. Really here before sectionals to get in that starting lineup.
And a steal by White. He works on Pritchett, and Pritchett is called for the foul and went down hard.
Yeah, he landed on his rear end. That hurts.
Cooper slowly gets up. You get another look here from R&B Car Company. He got himself off balance, and that will be an ice pack or two.
Oh, yeah. At that age, they're going to recoup a little bit. At our age, we might have fallen and couldn't get up.
Here's White going back to the foul line where he was just a moment ago. As you can tell, very good leaper. He had a career-high 10 against Jimtown. That's the team St. Joe will play in the first round of the sectional on Tuesday night over at the Jimmy Gym. Jace Lee back in the game for St. Joe. There's Maddox Yohe checking back in for Mishawaka, taking the place of Pritchett, who might appreciate a padded seat as he goes out. Well, he's going to go follow the trainer.
Yeah, rather than go take a look at his tushy.
Meanwhile, White knocks them both down, and St. Joe immediately back within 6. Full court pressure by the Indians. Johnson and Snyder got it across. Here's Jones kicking it out. Yohe tried to drive baseline, lost it to place. Lee in transition, blocked by Johnson. Foul called on Johnson.
Boy, St. Joe can get it up the floor in a hurry. They just need to have the ability to finish.
We haven't had a game with this much end-to-end intensity since that mid-January game between Michigan City and Riley. Timeout called by Mishawaka. We'll take it as well. Take a big gulp with 7:11 left in regulation. Mishawaka up by 6 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the IHSAA, partnering with TV 46 for over 30 years. A lot of people wondering, where are we going to go for the sectionals? Well, we're going to be over at the Slicer Gym in LaPorte for the 4A contest between LaPorte and the winner of that Michigan City-Adams game. I'll tell you what, if it's the Wolves and the Slicers, that gym will be electric that night. And if it's the Adams Eagles, a lot of questions about that team right now with Chad Johnston serving the suspension. Will he be back for the tournament? And then Saturday night, we'll be at Northwood for the championship game. Most people think it'll be #1 Northwood and #5 West Noble. They played a honey of a game in Ligonier earlier this month.
Two great matchups we're going to have for you next week as sectionals get underway.
Jace Lee, 68% foul shooter, barely gets iron on the first one.
Martin's Supermarkets Groceries to Go annual subscriptions are now available. They're just $29.99 for the year. Get ad pricing, digital coupons, recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martinsgroceriestogo.com.
Lee hits the second, though, and it's down to a 5-point game. The pressure has been helping St. Joe here in the fourth quarter. Let's see how Bodie Bender adjusted to that during the timeout. Yohe finds Arthur Jones, who goes up strong but couldn't hit. Fisher worked so hard to get that rebound, but then lost the handle. Lee lost it out of bounds. Just a silly turnover by St. Joe.
Yeah, Fisher just did a great job of working underneath. Looked like he got knocked in the nose just a little bit, and then not able to handle the ball and the bad pass over to Lee.
So Mishawaka gets it back up by 5. Johnson has a step on Braylon White, and with the left hand too strong. White the rebound. Chase Konechny, 17 points to lead the Indians tonight. Lee takes a step on Jones and throws it away.
That's a great job by Yowie getting in the way. Wanted to take the charge there.
St. Joe has a tendency, their players, to get up in the air and then not exactly know where they're going with the ball. That's going to lead to turnovers.
They do the dribble drive and drive the lane, and regardless if there's somebody there, they just go ahead and go up in the air. And they have no place to go once they get up there.
Jones had it knocked away by Konechny and out of bounds. Mishawaka will retain it. Nani will check back in for Jason Lee. Still plenty of time left in this one. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining. Place nearly had another steal. He's played some good defense for St. Joe tonight. Eric Gaff really wants pressure in the face of dribblers. But here's Snyder with nobody on him. Mishawaka slowing the pace down with the lead. Content to make this St. Joe defense work. Jones to Snyder. Now Rasan Johnson. Johnson outside to Yowie for 3. Too strong. Fisher lost it out of bounds. It'll be St. Joe ball.
Everyone loves Rise and Roll Donuts in Mishawaka, but you know they also offer pies, jellies, soup mixes, Amish noodles, and so much more. They're located on Grape Road in Mishawaka. They're open Monday through Fridays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Rise and Roll, doing things the old-fashioned way.
Pritchett's glutes might be okay because he checks back in. Here's Chase Konechny outside. Stop the dribble, and here's Braylon White. 4.5 to go in regulation. Trey Place. Place to Nani. Braylon White going down the lane on Fisher and scoring. The freshman with 9. Down to a 3-point game. Big energy right now in Alumni Gym. Jones to Johnson. And Rasan stripped by Place. Here's Woods. Ahead to White. Too strong. Konechny the rebound. Woods bucket in the bump.
Just like that, St. Joe has a chance to tie this game after being down 11.
A rare opportunity on the offensive glass for St. Joe taking advantage of, and Bodie Bender wants another timeout with 3:44 to go. We'll keep it right here.
The new year means new beginnings, so isn't it time to work for a company where employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Rushmore & Bristol is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Rushmore family, visit rushmore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
You think this one is good tonight? How about tomorrow night? Mackey Arena. Trace Jackson Davis and the Indiana Hoosiers going in to take on Zach Edey and the Purdue Boilermakers. It's Indiana Civil War, and we've got it for you on 103.1 FM. Hoosiers, Boilermakers, 7:30 tip-off.
What a great rivalry that is. What a great game that's going to be. The Hoosiers have to go on the road this time.
Think Mackey might be a little loud?
I'm sure it's going to be loud, and it's been sold out since their last matchup.
Tie game at Alumni Gym, 48 apiece with 3:44 to go. Great comeback by the Indians, who were down 11. They have pitched a shutout here in the 4th.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Mishawaka hasn't even been able to get on the board whatsoever.
Jones down the lane. Mark McCammon calls the foul on the floor. It's a common foul against Trey Place. It's his 3rd.
Well, I think that was just a great opportunity right there They only got 5 team fouls at this point. He had a step on him, so he just grabbed a hold of him so he couldn't get to the hoop.
By the way, Mishawaka with 16 fouls, so their next infraction sends St. Joe to the line unless it's a player control foul. Ball tipped away by Nani and out of bounds. This the 80th meeting between these two schools in a rivalry that dates back to 1954. St. Joe leads the all-time series 41-38. Inbound pass, Johnson picked up a 2-bouncer.
I think they thought somebody was stepping out when he threw it in.
Now Johnson in trouble, finds Fisher. Fisher found Pritchett underneath. Here's Yowie in the corner for 3. Too strong, rebound White. St. Joe with a chance to take the lead. Konechny guarded by Arthur Jones. Konechny likes that matchup. Fisher tried to come over and double team, couldn't get there. And Konechny has 19 and the Indians have the lead. Jones behind the back. Johnson for 3. Pritchett an offensive rebound. Jones passed on the 3 and drove in and was fouled on the way up by Place, and that's his 4th.
Hopefully Mishawaka can knock down a free throw to actually get on the board here in the 4th period. I don't know about you, but I think more people came in at halftime than they did at the start of the game, because it's starting to get a lot louder in here and a lot more people seem to be in this gym.
Bodie Bender on the sideline watches his senior point guard Arthur Jones, who has 13 points, take free throws sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In. And the foul line has been just that, a foul line for the Cavemen tonight. They have missed 7 free throws this evening. Jones will get another. Too strong on that one too, and this time St. Joe corrals the carom. Konechny and the Indians go down the lane, lost it. Pritchett with a steal. Jones had it batted away by Place. Place has played a terrific defensive game for St. Joe tonight. Jones drives on Nani, can't score. Johnson the rebound, and he was fouled on the way up. Rasan will go to the line, a 50% free throw shooter.
Cavemen just can't get anything to fall at this point. I have a feeling they're going to knock one of these two down at least.
Timeout called by St. Joe to freeze the shooter. We'll take it as well. 1:51 to go in regulation. St. Joe by the slimmest of margins on 46. Agostino and Keller brings us our factoids. And while St. Joe is up in this game, traditionally they have struggled when held below 60 this season, just 1-11 at 59 or below. Let's go to Craig Heatherly for a Bills Heating courtside report. Craig, what's behind this 13-0 run by the Indians?
It's St. Joe's press. So they started to pick up the pressure with a full court press. It forced some early turnovers there for Mishawaka to start the quarter, and they just haven't been able to recover since. They haven't scored in their last 8 possessions offensively.
And is it just me, or does Mishawaka suddenly have different people taking the shots in the offense?
That's what happens when you get down. You feel like you've got to be the person to step up and make the play. You've got to make the right play, not just the great play.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And the thing is, they're putting undue pressure on them. They're down by 2 at this point. They were just having a cold streak, and they thought they were down by 30 at that point when they actually had the lead up until a second ago.
So Rasan Johnson getting ready to go to the foul line, but the officials checking out the jersey over here of Brayshawn Woods, making sure he doesn't have any blood on it. He does not. Johnson, free throw sponsored by Bonnie Doon. It is ironic, shall we say, that the worst free throw shooter on the floor for Mishawaka is the one who just hit one and can tie it if he does it again. But he couldn't, and the rebound and on him. A minute 45 to go in this one. Nani lost the handle, and it's over and back.
Looked like it went off of Jones's leg, but
Mark McCammon on this side did not signal over and back. It was Mike Emerson on the other, and McCammon says indeed it was touched by Mishawaka.
There you can see right there. Yeah, I mean, it was knocked out by Jones.
And Chase Konechny and St. Joe get a timeout with a minute 38 as nobody for the Indians could get open. Now, Nani will tell you, and he might have an argument, that he was being held by Arthur Jones, but it wasn't being called.
Yeah, I mean, one of those things where you're trying to get open on that point. Might have been a little hold on that, but these days they're going to let you get away with a little bit of that.
Now, St. Joe is in the bonus. If they wind up going to the line, that's typically a good thing for the Indians. It's sponsored by Anderson, Agostino, and Keller. They are a 73% free throw shooting team for the year. And Mishawaka, if they lose this one, will only have to look at their performance at the foul line.
Well, exactly. Well, you look at that stat right there, 73%. Mishawaka only has one person shooting over that 73%, whereas they average that as a team.
The inbounds pass from Konechny comes to Gabe Nani in the backcourt. Arthur Jones guards him. Here's Trey Place. The pass underneath and a pushing foul called on Brady Fisher. He knew it. That's his fourth.
Yeah, Fisher picking up his fourth foul.
Brayshawn Woods, a 77% free throw shooter, will go to the line for the Indians. He is 0 for 1 from the stripe tonight. Excuse me, 1 for 2. Woods trying to get his 19th game in double figures this season. Been very consistent in this his sophomore year. This is a St. Joe team that has a lot of weapons coming back next year.
Yeah, I mean, they're really young at this point. You can tell that aspect of them, how young their stars are, star players anyways. But yeah, they have a lot of guys coming back for Eric Gaff's team.
So after all the sweat is toweled up, it's Woods at the line. Couldn't get it to go, and the rebound to Rasan Johnson. Here's Mishawaka with a chance to take the lead back. Jones past Trey Place. Couldn't score, though, and Place recovers for the rebound. Gabe Nani looking for help from Konechny. Jackson Snyder draws the defensive assignment. Double team came on Konechny. He got it over to Woods. Woods into the paint. Place for three. Wow! Here's Johnson in the lane, and he'll go to the line for 2. Trey Place, 36% three-point shooter on the year, but those are his first points of the night. He's been spectacular defensively, and then when they needed him most, he was money from beyond the arc.
What a big three. Here you can see it on the R&B Car Company replay. Pass was given up, threw it over to him. When he started to shoot that, I was like, whoa, they're kind of holding the ball, it looks like. But he had all the confidence in the world, knocked it down. Huge three by Trey Place.
Meanwhile, a bunch of sweat being toweled up off the floor again. And here's Rasan Johnson, who just went 1 of 2 at the stripe. Free throw sponsored by Bonnie Doon. And they missed the first.
Well, when you need seniors to step up in a game like this, I believe Trey Place did in that opportunity right there. Knew it was going to be his last home game here in this arena, Alumni Gym. It's just a big three by Place.
Johnson missed them both, got his own rebound, couldn't put it home. Pritchett ducks, and a timeout called by Bodie Bender with 33.1 seconds left. Pritchett now with 6 tonight. third time tonight, Mishawaka has missed 2 free throws and put the offensive carom back.
Yeah, it just comes down to those free throws. We've talked about that over and over again. It's a lost art in this game. You got to be able to hit free throws down the stretch, or you're not going to be able to win championships. We always talk about free throws wins championship. Well, it does.
Mishawaka, though, has become accustomed to winning in games like this. In fact, this is the first time the Cavemen have ever had 6 consecutive winning seasons in basketball in their history. That's 99 years the Cave have been standing there.
Yeah. Well, Ronnie Hiklinski did a great job of really building this program the last few years, and Bodie Bender just taking over from where he left off.
That factoid sponsored by Anderson, Agostino, and Keller. So, 33 seconds left in this one. St. Joe with the ball. They're only in the, what I would call the common bonus. They're not in the double bonus as of yet. Craig, how quickly do you foul if you're Mishawaka?
At this point, I don't think it really matters, Chuck. I think you just want to just turn up the heat. Saying they don't have great ball handlers against the press. So I think you just turn up the heat. If you foul, you foul. You just continue to extend the game.
Yep.
That's fine, but play a little bit crazy right here. It's a great opportunity.
The inbound finally comes to Konechny. Konechny, Pritchett tried to tie him up, but a foul is called by Mark McCammon.
Yeah, the one guy you really don't want to foul, Konechny, shooting 75% on the season.
Of the healthy players for St. Joe, because Jerry Barca is not playing tonight. He's out with concussion protocol, might be out for the year. Konechny, the second best foul shooter for St. Joe behind Brayshawn Woods, but Woods has missed a pair tonight. Konechny on his first trip to the line tonight misses, and Pritchett the rebound. Will Mishawaka go for the tie or the lead? Pritchett all the way down, shoots, misses, tipped up, no good. Konechny the rebound, and he was tripped.
Looks like it's going to be on Pritchett if that is, or maybe Fisher. Calling on Fisher.
If it's on Fisher, that's his 5th. But it looks like it's on Pritchett, and it's his 4th. You get another look from R&B Car Company at the action here.
Yeah, they did call on Brady Fisher as he's heading out of the game.
Ah, okay. So Fisher called for his 5th. Anthony Nelson is checked back in. Good three-point shooter for Mishawaka. Hit a couple early. Konechny just failed the last time at the line. He won't this time. He has 20. His 22nd game in double figures this season. Missed that one. It's a three-point game. Mishawaka still alive. Arthur Jones. Let's see if they try to find Nelson. Bodie Bender will draw something up after the timeout with 11.7 left. And we'll keep it right here.
Yeah, big thank you to Barnaby's Pizza in South Bend for feeding our crew tonight. Did a heck of a job as always. Love that Barnaby Pizzas when I get here. Like to eat it during the JV game and stuff my face a little bit before we start.
Mishawaka now out of timeouts. Their best three-point shooters for the year have been Jones and Nelson. We've seen Yohe host a 3 tonight and hit one. And Rasan Johnson on the year is at 36%, so he's not bad either. They've got some weapons to choose from. We'll see who Bodie Bender decides to dial it up with right here.
Looks like they checked in Anthony Nelson into the game as well.
He came in when Fisher fouled out.
Yep, he's got those two three-pointers huge in the first half. He's not afraid to put it up either.
Jones will trigger. 11.7 left. Cavemen down 3. Johnson. There's Snyder. Jones. They need the 3. They go to Nelson. He'll hoist and hit. Woods from half court. We're going to overtime at Alumni Gym. from R&B Car Company. Anthony Nelson knocked it down from the west side of South Bend.
Wow, they set that play up for him, too. The way they looked at it, dribbled around. They set a back screen for his guy, get him open. Wasn't quite open and had to shoot it from NBA range.
Major Nelson didn't need the genie for that one. So we are knotted up at 54 and headed to overtime. 4 minutes of fun left here at Alumni Gym at least.
Hey, got to get some more action. Both these coaches are probably like, you know what? Hey, that's 4 more minutes of action we can get prepped for sectionals.
Yeah, by the way, the tournament doesn't start till next week, despite the atmosphere in here right now. Mishawaka will open up with a Plymouth team that has made some major improvements. Joel Grindle picked up his 100th win last night. Cavemen only won that game by 8 back in January, so I know Bodie Bender's concerned about that. And St. Joe can't afford to take anyone lightly. Boy, what a dagger this would be for the Indians to work that hard to come from 11 down, and then if you can't win this one in overtime.
What a difference in quarters that we've had. Mishawaka really dominated that third quarter. St. Joe comes out, dominates the fourth quarter. First half was kind of back and forth as well. We'll see how overtime goes here. But whoever gets hot early usually dominates the quarter.
The officials looking over at the scorers table, wondering if they're ready to go.
I think the big thing here is Trey Place with 4 fouls. Brady Fisher out of the game with the 5 fouls. Pritchett with 4 fouls as well.
Ray Dix, he's been around long enough. He remembers when the overtimes were only 3 minutes, so that's what he was waiting for.
Well, I know we did an opening tip, but let's do an overtime tip. That was sponsored by City of South Bend Golf.
Chase Konechny and Rasan Johnson jump it up. The tip is taken out of bounds off who? It'll be going to St. Joe.
Yeah, it looked like that ball went off of Snyder, I believe.
Eric Gaff, that beard was pure black when this game began. Has a little bit of gray in it now. Chase Konechny for 3. Woods the rebound for St. Joe, spins and wins. Rashawn with 11.
Good offensive rebound by Woods.
Nelson in the corner. Not that time. And Snyder and Pritchett collide and knock it out of bounds.
One of those plays where both your teammates are going after it hard and you just collide. And it's one of those unfortunate turnovers.
Konechny guarded by Rasan Johnson. Couple of screens for Chase. Now Snyder picks him up. Konechny outside. White to Place for 3 again. Not that time. And the rebound comes to Pritchett, and a foul called on Gabe Nani. And that'll send Cooper Pritchett to the line where he's 0 for 2 tonight. Free throw sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In. Cooper gets the basketball ability from his mama. Alicia was a standout basketball player at Penn and then at SIU Edwardsville. And Cooper hits the first right at his average, 7 points, as you see that blackout in the Cavemen student section. Of course, Coop's dad, Darren, the host of Weekday Sports Beat on WSBT Radio. Second one would not go. Konechny the rebound. 1 point Tribe lead. Woods in trouble. Finds White, the freshman.
Bravo.
Yep. Good defense by Pritchett. Set it up.
Great defense. He blocked the corner off so he couldn't get to the rim on the baseline. Picked up his dribble and lost his balance.
Again, St. Joe with the pressure that got them back in the game. Remember, the Indians trailed by 11 going to the fourth. Jones outside. I mean, the only place you see the wild swings we've had in this game is at the county fair. Jones drops it for Pritchett for two, and Mishawaka is back in front. Cooper with 9. Konechny looking for room in the paint. White travels again.
Yeah. Freshman mistake there. Braylon White getting the experience out there, but you got to understand you're not going to get away with that at the varsity level.
Jones will inbound by the St. Joe bench. Mishawaka trying to get its 17th win of the year. Johnson with the drive. Euro step and White rejects it.
Braylon White talked about how good of a leaper he is. He just did a great job of jumping over the top and knocking that ball out of bounds.
Get another look here on the R&B Car Company replay at the athleticism of White. Jackson Snyder outside. Jones whips it down to Johnson for 2. Rasan with 7. Cavemen up 3. Now it's Konechny. Johnson got out on him quickly, not allowing him room to take the 3. Nani.
Not a lot of movement away from the ball right now. You can tell this has been a long game for these guys. Just kind of standing around.
And Eric Gaff's going to take a timeout, give his team a little rest with 1:04 to go in the extra session. We'll take it as well. Mishawaka leads by 3 on 46. Chuck Freeby, Bo Hunt, Craig Heatherly back with you from Alumni Gym in South Bend. 1:04 to go in overtime. St. Joe down by 3. All right, Coach Heatherly, you found yourself in these situations a lot at the collegiate level. You know everybody's looking for the ball to go to Konechny. What's Eric Gaff trying to draw up here for St. Joe?
Yeah, he's going to try and get him the ball with probably near the top of the key with some space. Maybe put a shooter here in the right corner, allow him to drive to his right hand without bodies around him and make a play. But it's going to be what happens when that ball goes up on the rim, because St. Joe's going to be flying to the glass trying to secure that rebound if it comes off the rim.
Take a look at the sophomore, Chase Konechny. Easy to forget that he's still an underclassman because of the leadership role he's had to take on this young team.
Well, him and Brayshawn Woods, both sophomores. Braylon White, just a freshman, and a big turnover by St. Joe.
Nani, the senior, loses it out of bounds, and Yowie will check in for Anthony Nelson. And now Mishawaka will want to try to take the air out of the ball here.
St. Joe, though, definitely look to foul here. Be aggressive with it.
Both teams with 9 fouls, so it'll be double bonus the rest of the way. Trey Place has to be careful. He has 4 fouls. That would be the guy to foul if you're St. Joe. And Eric Gaff wants his team to foul, and Jace Lee will foul Arthur Jones, a 62% foul shooter who has had his struggles at the line tonight. Hasn't everybody for the Caves?
Yeah, it's been a rough night at the free throw line for Mishawaka. They need to go get some Bonnie Doon driving ice cream since they sponsored them tonight.
Jones with a deep breath. He has 13 tonight. He averages 15. Short on the first. Brayshawn Woods not aware it was a 2-shot foul. Jones will get another. That one goes. 2-possession game. Here comes Lee for the Indians. Now Woods down low over Pritchett. Couldn't score. Yowie the big rebound. And again, St. Joe has to foul. Lee will foul Wasan Johnson, a 50% free throw shooter.
Yeah, Jace Lee picking up his 4th foul at that point, but St. Joe just isn't able to finish. But Mishawaka doing a better job of getting body on somebody and not letting that second chance bucket happen.
Johnson trying to cushion the lead for the Cavemen. That one had more iron than your morning vitamin, but it fell.
It's the only thing Mishawaka's looking for right now is to get the one, at least 1 out of 2 each time down there now.
The second for Johnson, pure. 9 for Rasan. 6-point lead for Mishawaka. Konechny getting double teamed all over. And they try to get the ball down low to him, and Johnson knocks it out of bounds.
Well, you talked earlier about that 60-point mark with St. Joe getting to it, their record of 9-2 when they score 60 or more points, and only 1-11 when they score under 60. And right now they're threatening to be right in that area.
Konechny double teamed, threw it away, although it was kicked. And so St. Joe will retain possession. I'm not sure it wasn't kicked by St. Joe, but the Indians will keep it.
Either way, they saw the foot, saw it go off. Gonna assume that it was off of Mishawaka.
Woods got a step on Pritchett and scores with the left hand. Rasan with 13. And a timeout will be called by Mishawaka with 11.2 seconds left. And the Cavemen up by 4. What can a win like this do for Mishawaka going into the tournament?
Well, I think the atmosphere that you had and you played in front of tonight, I think really helps. Anytime you play in an atmosphere like this, in a close ball game, that pressure that you feel, the angst that you feel, kind of tethers away when you play in that environment later on. I think that really helps a team.
Mishawaka, if they can hang on, goes to 17-6 for the season, facing Plymouth on Tuesday night over at LaPorte. St. Joe will play in that Jimtown sectional where Marion and Washington are on the top side of the bracket. St. Joe has Jimtown on Tuesday night. And if they can get past the Jimmies, who knows? Maybe they can make a run in the tournament.
Having Marion Washington on the top half really helps the bottom half out. They could battle it out up there. Not sure any teams can really beat those two. Those two are the proverbial favorites to win that conference.
Yowie throws deep to Arthur Jones, and Jones will dribble around and be fouled by Trey Place, and that'll be the 5th on Place. And send him to the bench for the night, but he did a fine defensive job for St. Joe.
Yeah, Trey Place, a senior, fouling out here on his last home game. Kicker on the football team, all NIC on the soccer team. 3.76 GPA for Trey Place in his high school career. Just a great career for Trey Place.
Meanwhile, Arthur Jones back to the foul line, taking free throw sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In. And this will be something that I'm sure Bodie Bender will have his team working on Saturday and Monday. It's taking those free throws as though they don't do it every day, right?
Yeah.
Jones rattles that one home. Arthur leading the way with 15 tonight. Here's Konechny on the drive. He'll lay it in for 2. But the clock expires and the Mishawaka Cavemen survive to get an overtime win here at Alumni Gym. 63-60 the final score. Stick around, a lot to talk about on the St. Joe County Police Department post-game show, and we'll do it after this on 46.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
Boy, this place is still buzzing. You can understand why. What a high school basketball game we had here at Alumni Gym tonight as Mishawaka prevails in overtime 63-60. The Cavemen fans dressed in black celebrating here as their heroes now go to 17-6 on the season with this dramatic overtime win. Welcome inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck and Bo had the best seats in the house for this one tonight, and what a ball game. Two great efforts. I mean, the comeback by St. Joe in the fourth quarter from 11 down, had the lead, probably felt they had this one put away, missed a couple of free throws towards the end, left the door open, and Anthony Nelson with the big three.
Well, what a great, exciting game. I think that was the biggest thing. I mean, St. Joe looked like they were down, they were out of it, and then they make the huge comeback. And I think it was the poise of Mishawaka. They were able to come through. The leadership, the seniors that they have on that team, the experience they have of some of their guys was able to overcome down the stretch.
A senior leader like our player of the game, Arthur Jones, 15 points tonight to lead the Cavemen. He's standing by now with Greg Heatherly.
All right, we are here with the player of the game, Arthur Jones. From the start, it was a competitive game. Both teams played extremely hard. How did you guys pull out the victory?
We just had to play defense. That was the key. And we had to slow our offense down because we was rushing too much in the first half, so we had to slow it down and play at our pace.
You lead this team in scoring, but it was your playmaking down the stretch that extended the lead for you. When you're doing that for your team, how good can you guys be?
Very great. Sometimes when I force it, coach be like, he be telling me facilitate more. So I try to facilitate, then I get mine at the end of the day.
They had a tournament feel to the game tonight, but we're now entering into the tournament. What can a win like this do for your team going forward?
Just stay confident and be humble.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Good luck in the tournament. Chuck, back to you.
He might stay confident and be humble. The guy that was the most confident at the end of the game provided our Electrical Workers Local 153 electrifying play of the game. Anthony Nelson off the bench. Onions!
2 huge threes in the first half, and then for this to knock it down on the step back with the game on the line. Just a great job of moving the ball, setting it up, back screen to him. All the confidence in the world by Nelson.
That sent the game into overtime, and the Cavemen got the job done in the extra session to go to 17-6. Eric Gaff's team falls to 10-14, but I don't see a whole lot of people lining up saying, hey, let us play St. Joe in the tournament. That should be easy.
I mean, they're a young but very talented team that can put up a lot of points in a hurry, and you saw that tonight. Yeah, they're going to have their shooting woes here and there, but if they can put it all together for one game, I believe they can beat anybody in that sectional.
Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who helped bring you this one tonight, led by our production manager, Dean Corsmo, and of course, Tony Beltran working the dials back in the truck. A reminder, college basketball on the radio Saturday night at 7:30. Indiana and Purdue from Mackey Arena should be fun. And we've got it for you on 103.1 FM. And then don't forget the tournament trail starts Friday night for us in LaPorte. The 4A sectionals, Jordan Heckard's LaPorte Slicers take on either Michigan City or South Bend Adams. We'll have it for you on the live stream at 6:30 Eastern and on TV 46 Friday night, 11 Saturday morning at 9. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and the Instagram. Now for the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Craig Heatherly, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final. The Cavemen beat the Indians 63-60. So long from South Bend.